Hey everybody, hope you can hear me, and if you can, please just let me know. All right, guys, everybody here. Listen, we're gonna probably need some do everything. I'm talking Diddy today, guys, and I'm talking it because it's important for a bunch of reasons, and I hope you get it, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I'm not yelling, I'm not talking. I want to show. So far, let me explain this in the best terms I can, I guess. First of all, can everybody hear me good and everything like that? If everybody could hear me, that'd be great. I really appreciate that. The bike behind me is a Harley. I have, that's Nick's bike. I have a Harley Road King. All right, guys, I have to jump right into the Diddy case because, listen, this is kind of not a, this is gonna be a good video because I'll tell you why. First of all, I said it when this case dropped that I thought they were overreaching with RICO. I still think they're overreaching with RICO with all these celebrities and rappers and stuff of that nature. I didn't see sex trafficking. I didn't see. I'm gonna get into the Mann Act charge, which is transporting somebody across state lines, which I've done it myself. Many. Most athletes, most people, most. Listen, if you live in New York and you take a lady that sometimes you get a lady and yes, you do pay her, but people pay in different ways. Man, am I getting off track? And I'm going to compare a little bit of what happened. Listen, this is the second time in a row that I called it on the button. If you remember the Derek Chauvin case, if you remember that case, I called the exact sentence he got. And it's in a video prior to his sentence. So it can't be any like maneuvering. It's in the video prior to he was sentenced. And I guessed the exact time because I did my research. I went into the PSI, which is pre-sentence investigation. Looked into the judge, see what kind of his general range is, so to speak. We're going to get into that with the Diddy case here today. But listen, I'm excited. I'll tell you. There's only one lawyer, and I'm telling you, I'm on the internet a lot. There is only one lawyer, and I personally think he's the best federal lawyer in the United States, and I mean that right now. His name is Brad Cohen. He's a friend of mine. I think Brad is, first of all, Brad is probably, I know Brad for many years. Brad handles cases with Kodak Black and Dennis Rodman, whoever. But he's federal. He understands the federal. There's a big difference. Listen, many judges have told me, Larry, you know more about the federal law than 90% of all these attorneys out here. Because most are state attorneys, and I get that. I don't know the state as well. I do know the feds. I was in there and I did the law for over 10 years. 10 years in prison doing the law is like 30 years or 20 years at least in the outside. I'm not worried about family and vacations and stuff. I'm doing my law work. Now, I'm gonna keep going on this case because this has got me all hyped up. In September 30th, go look it up, guys. Just go into a video that I posted. And I said that everybody is just jumping to conclusions. Everybody doesn't want to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. Okay? Now, what I mean by that is, this is the United States, and we are supposedly not guilty. We are innocent until proven guilty. Did you hear what I just said? All those people in those county jails and places, they're innocent. That's why it pisses me off when the conditions are so bad. They are innocent until proven guilty. Okay? We're going to discuss a lot today about the Diddy case, more even so. I don't even know where I'm at with that on the tube. Okay, now let me keep going. In the Diddy case, in September, I said, you guys, everybody, first of all, I want to thank the juror. The jurors do what jurors do because they hear all the evidence. All of the pundits, all of the people out there, Diddy's a scumbag, Diddy's going to jail, Diddy raped this girl, Diddy did this, Diddy fucked with kids. Not one thing was proven like that, guys. Not one thing. Now listen, you could say, well, they didn't get, no. They had more evidence in that case than you and I will ever get. They were the juries. They were the people getting talked to by both attorneys, by the Fed. Our federal government has gotten way out of hand, guys, and I mean really way out. This was a win for us people. And if you don't believe it, then you're one of the sheep being led by wolves. Let me tell you that. You're one of the sheep being led by wolves if you don't believe that. And I'm going to tell you why more so. Because first of all, however you do this, P. Diddy was charged with RICO. I still don't understand it. I'm going to talk to Brad. How do you charge someone when a RICO is 2 or more? How do you charge them, even charge them with a RICO when there's 2 or more and he has no co-defendants? I didn't see some co-defendant up there. I didn't even see an unindicted co-defendant. So that blows me away right there. Okay? That's why they didn't prove it in my mind. I really believe that. I don't know. Again, I wasn't in the trial, in the jury. I didn't sit through the trial. I love to do that. But that's number one. Number two, the RICO came about in, I think, 1970. And it was to get gangsters, get organized crime guys who were untouchable, who would shut their mouth. Everybody shut. They could never get the boss. Guy whacks somebody on the boss's commands. Who cares? He ain't getting popped, is he? So with that being said, the RICO Act by states is being used wrongly. The feds, New York, Georgia's one of the worst. They're charging these rappers under a RICO. Come on, man. Do we have enough laws in this country? Convict them of what they did. Convict them. That's another thing. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy law. That's another one. But they didn't have that here. They didn't have the conspiracy. But in this case, they had him for sex trafficking. That's a serious shit, man. That's putting people out on the street, or that's putting, a heavy hand on someone. Here you go, people. Oh, Larry's saying this, but this coercion is. Let me tell you something, guys. How many times have you taken a girl out to dinner and all this trying to get laid? Really? What? You're not paying? Are you paying? Sometimes it's $100 or $200, whatever the hell it is. I don't even know because I don't do that. But think about that. Sometimes it could be easier. I know that sounds crazy, but it could be. And you have to think of it like that. I don't care who you are. Now, you can hate me or not. I don't care. You know that. I'm deep into GTA. I'm staying that way, and that's because if you don't know this, GTA is where I did all my crimes. This new GTA 6 is my hometown. So forget about it. There ain't be a person on the internet who knows more about it, especially with my background. Nobody. Mark my words on that. That's why I'm playing GTA right now. My brain gets flooded with memories. 2, Diddy was charged with RICO, 2 counts of sex trafficking, 2 counts of the Mann Act, which is it's transporting someone across state lines for paying. I did it. I took women back from Atlantic City to New York. I took women from New York to Atlantic City for a nice weekend, and they were hanging out with us, and we had a party of 15, and that happens. Every bachelor party that happens. Now you started a bachelor party, guys, right? Bullshit. You started that bachelor party. Now they're going to get you because you took the girl on a plane to go, you took a couple girls because you knew it. Let me tell you something, guys. We are on a slippery slope, and I said that. We're on a very slippery slope, and I'm glad the jury saw through the bullshit of the government. I don't know how people in New York can stand for these people. Who do you think you are? People were judging Diddy because he had oil. I don't give a shit how much oil. He's got dildos and oil and whatever sex stuff. Oh, he's giving them the the shots to rejuvenate them in the morning. Oh, that more. You know how many people on the internet? Do you know how many companies on the internet? Do you know how many influencers and everybody else do that? Do take a shot in the morning to rejuvenate themselves because they want to keep going? That's a business now. Now it's evil. I don't give a shit if he had 1,000 bottles of fucking baby oil. In fact, maybe he had a big slide going down into a pool and he had baby oil in the thing. Who knows and who cares? It's not illegal. When we start making things illegal against your morals or my morals, we're wrong. And that's not what America is about, man. It really isn't, guys. And that's what's got me so mad right now. Brad Cohen, I'm not kidding you guys. Brad Cohen is the only lawyer, and I'm talking defense attorneys. This pissed me off too. These supposable, YouTube defense. I'm your criminal defense attorney. Holy fuck, I don't want you as my criminal defense attorney. Everything was the government's right, they're gonna slam him, they're gonna do this. I want Brad Cohen. And this ain't a fucking commercial for Brad Cohen. I haven't spoken to him in a while. But the greatest lawyer I know. Because him and I think alike. Kind of look alike with the ball. But listen, Brad is a smart man who understands how to fight the government, understands the laws a lot, and knows how to tell the jury what it is. Did you know that the attorneys for the defense this time, obviously these guys did the right thing. They didn't have to put Diddy on it. Most of the defense was, hey, listen, here's text messages. She wanted it. This person wanted it. I'm busy right now. I can't talk. He wanted it. So how do you do that, everybody? How? You tell me how you do that. Okay? I want to know what the prosecutor was trying to say. I got text message. Any woman who was at one of those freak-offs, so what? So what? There was nothing said, anything about children, and I said that in the beginning. If there's children involved, absolutely, they bury the guy. Bury him. But there's no children involved. There's no credible women that went up there. People say, oh, she cried. She was, oh, did you see that video? Oh, that video. First of all, that video to me, first of all, let me give you a little scenario and you could call me an asshole. How would you like to be in a hotel room and you got a girl in your room or whatever and you fight with her and she steals your $1 million watch and puts it in her bag and runs out? You tell me what you're going to do. Thanks, Linky Pup. I appreciate it. A little about that, the bomb, but I'm not going to get into that now. Now, listen. So, how do we know? How does anybody know the intimate details except Diddy's side and that girl's side? Yeah, you got footage. And do I think what he did was wrong? Listen, I would never in my life do that to a woman. I'm a pretty big guy, and I don't have to, do something to anybody to show I'm a man. That's number one. Number two, I don't know if that lady had $1 million Rolex in her bag trying to walk off with, or even cash out of a safe in his place, and he just got so pissed and he took. Listen, I don't understand that. A bitch anybody takes $1 million of mine and walks out. I don't care if you're a midget. I don't care. Well, I'm probably getting canceled for everything I say. But let me explain something, guys. I am so over this country trying to push their morals into you. And that's exactly, thank you, Tennessee ETV. I appreciate it. Do you understand what I'm saying, everybody? He was found not guilty of the sex charges. That's the actual sex charges. He was found, there was 5 counts. The RICO, way overcharged. We are getting to be really you think you're free? You think you're free? You might be free to go to another country, get another job, do certain things. So is 190 other countries. I love this country, but I'm sick and tired of the law, the way they apply it. This was wrong. Every rich person, every poor person, every middle-class person should have been alarmed at that charges. But no, everybody wanted to vilify him. All these creators on YouTube. He's a scumbag. He's this, he's that. If you're doing it for views, hey, have at it. If you're doing it because you believe it, you got some problems, guys. You got some problems. You don't know P. Diddy from your next door neighbor or 3 people down the block or me. You don't know us. You don't. You don't know what I do in my private life. And you shouldn't know. And I don't know what you do in your private life. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be, let's charge him with this shit. I can't believe that charge. Listen, now, I'm going to get into the charge now. I have to get into the charge. It's called the Mann Act. It's 18 U.S.C. 24, 21, 22. That's the 18 U.S.C. is the United States codes. My book's here. You look them up. The Mann Act's been around forever. It was really used back in the early 20th century. 1915, 20, 25, all that kind of stuff where they would get people. And it was more of a racist thing. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But I'll tell you, the Mann Act does carry 10 years in federal prison. Carry for each count. First of all, Diddy's been convicted on 2 counts. They're going to run them concurrent. I've never seen it. And Diddy is a non-violent first-time offender, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he was arrested. Maybe he was. I don't know about it. There is a fine up to $250,000 and supervised release, typically 5 years to whatever. Life they can do. Yes, I think because it's a Mann Act, you also get put on the registry, the section, which is another one that's bullshit. I don't buy that. But if the victim's a minor, obviously, guys, he should be fine. Listen, anytime you're dealing with victims of minors, you all know how I feel about that. That's a no-go. I mean, I have my limit. If you're a consenting adult, and obviously the defense proved that these women were consenting adults. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're right. Sam said something about the country making money, and that could be true. But you know what? They were trying to take a billionaire off this planet, off the free world. And what are they gonna do with it? How many people have jobs? How many houses? I could go on and on and on. How stupid this was. This is. I was so looking to. I had to get away from the TV on this one, because every time I hear a pundit, again, except Brad Cohen, I heard pundits. Oh, he's gonna get convicted on this. He'll get the sex trafficking because I heard that girl. I guess there wasn't enough evidence, so he is not guilty. You hear what I just said? Not guilty. That's number one. So judges usually, depending, they give him between 2 and 6 years, is what I just looked up. The average is non-violent offender, 2 to 6 years. First of all, Diddy did a year already. That counts, guys. And I'm gonna get into the bail. I don't know if he got bail yet. I hope he gets bail. He should get bail before the sentencing. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. And then I think the defense is going to push for a speedy sentencing. But they have to do a PSI, which is called pre-sentence investigation. Someplace they call PSR, pre-sentence report. And that gives you your background, who you are, your ability to pay fines, all of this kind of stuff. And then the judge takes that, which I'll be reading. I'm sure it'll be public. I'll be reading it, and then he levies out a sentence, and I'm going to look at the judge. Now, you got to remember, the judge heard all this evidence as well, which is important. Because I hope the judge is how do I say this? I hope the judge is a very reasonable man and says, come on, the guy put people in. He paid women, yes, to go to a party. Maybe they didn't prove he did anything. He didn't force them to have sex, didn't do anything. He took them across state lines. Was there professional prostitution? Obviously, they proved that. And he didn't prove that he had sex or he did anything illegal, and they proved that it was consent. Otherwise, they would have, because you can get convicted with consensual. Even force is different, guys. We're talking a whole different animal. So usually they're going to give very low end of the guidelines to anybody who cooperates. P. Diddy went to trial. There's no cooperation here. Go P. Diddy. Go P. Diddy. You can hate him. I don't. I don't hate anybody. Well, first, I'm glad he had the funds to fight that case. Because again, the funds weren't part of this whole entire thing. They didn't worry about the funds. So, but in the Mann Act, listen to me. They messed up with Michael Vick. And we all know the Michael Vick case with the dog fighting. Instead of giving Michael Vick time, they could have had him do public service announcements. They could have had him do anything. Again, if the judge is creative, this is a federal judge, people. First of all, federal judges can do anything they want. You hear what I just said? Yeah. There's going to be a guidelines. You don't have to stick to it. There could be extenuating circumstances. The guidelines might come back 2 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years, 2 to 4 years, something of that nature. I don't think it's going to be much more than that. I personally don't think he should get jail time. He's already been in there a year in shitty conditions, and that's not right. That alone is not right. And I hope the people look at that and say, we have a bail system for a reason. Okay? Use it. So, but they're gonna know if there was coercion and number of victims and their age. Obviously, he knows this. The judge knows all this. The public impact and abuse of power. That's the one that kind of gets me, because of the media attention. Listen, if P. Diddy wasn't P. Diddy, nothing of this would have happened. None of this. This wouldn't even have been a case if it wasn't P. Diddy. And I'm gonna tell you where I believe that really went. I think you guys are gonna believe me. It's really important. Just to give you a few people who were convicted of the Mann Act, which can be bad, was R. Kelly. But R. Kelly was also convicted under RICO. Ended up getting 30 years. And there were minors involved, obviously. Elliot Spitzer, he didn't get convicted, but he lost his career, and he was non-coercive prostitution transport. Same thing. No prison time if no charges were formally brought. Chuck Berry. Remember Chuck Berry? The rock legend was convicted in 1962 transporting a 14-year-old Apache girl across state lines, serving approximately 20 months, less than 2 years he did for that, with a minor. Hear me? Charlie Chaplin, indicted in 1944 for transporting actress Joan Berry across state borders. But he was acquitted, went to trial. Again, is a coercion. Jack Johnson, the boxer. You always see him, the big black boxer, but way back in 1913, he was transporting a white woman across state lines, and he served 1 year and 1 day in jail. Believe that? Thank you, President Trump, for posthumously pardoned him in 2018. Not that it helped him at that, but those days were whack. I mean, you're talking about a lot of bad stuff. Frank Lloyd Wright, I didn't know this. The famed architect was arrested in 26 under the Mann Act. The charges were later dropped. So what's the takeaway? I'll tell you the takeaway here, and I'm gonna tell you what I believe happened, and I really believe this, and you tell me, and I want to ask you guys a couple questions on this, and I really want your answers. Do you think, first of all, please put them in the comments, please put them somewhere. Hey, username. Do you think the media tried to convict him before the trial even started? I just want you guys, I want to get this, I'm gonna be looking at these later. Do you think RICO is being misused against rich celebrities, rappers, and stuff like that? Should sex between consenting adults be any business of the government? Listen to me, guys. If I want to sit in this house and, I don't know, hang from this freaking fan and masturbate, that's my business. It's my house. And if I am a consenting adult and I have another consenting adult in here, I don't care. It should be what we want. Of course, unless you're forcibly holding them down or drugging them. None of that was proven in the Diddy case. Man, Diddy was the best host in the world. Does he have a temper maybe? Yeah, I do too. Everybody does. It's crazy. That's number one. Should Diddy have gotten bail from day one? What do you guys think? I really want to answer these questions. Please do. Diddy got bail? You know what I believe. I think he should have got bail from day one. I think he should get bail now. Well, I don't think he's gonna. I really don't. Hi, Kara, thanks. And was justice served? Or is this still government overreach? I'll tell you why it's government overreach, and you tell me if I'm wrong. And you could call me some conspiracy theorist. You could call me whatever the crazy shit you want. I never in my life, and I'm 63 years old. I'll be 64 in a few months. Never in my life has the government taken tank armored vehicles into 2 locations. Listen to me. Surprised morning raids on houses in California and I think it was Miami, and on a case of whatever this thing is, sexual thing, and I'll tell you why they did it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right. Please listen to this and listen good. This is exactly why it happened, and I really mean this. I want you to listen. I totally believe this. There was a lawsuit filed about 3 years prior to this by his former producer. And in that lawsuit, civil lawsuit, he mentioned how Diddy had cameras and there were celebrities and public figures that were caught on tape having sex with underage girls and illegal stuff going on in P. Diddy's house, and it's on tape. I totally believe in my heart that the government went in there that hard to get those tapes. And they got them. They got them, people. And guess what? You didn't hear one word. Either this is why. They wanted those tapes because they're going to use them for blackmail against people. That is a guarantee. Don't think they don't. Don't think when people do the, listen, I love my government. I love the setup. I am a history buff. But people run things. And when people run things, there's a lot of corruption. It's just human nature. Now, listen and listen good on this. So now, the government has these tapes. Have you heard one word about anybody in these tapes? What they're about? And you're not gonna. Just like you didn't hear who's on this Epstein list and all that crap. You know, they don't want to give information out. They want the information. It's called hold it over your head. You know, I got you. You're done. You know, you have nothing coming. And it pisses me off. Totally pisses me off. And as a man who did the law for so long, and you know, listen to me, guys. I've saw a lot of shady moves by the government, by any government. It could be city government, it could be state government, and it could be the federal government. I've seen a lot of shady shit. I really have, guys. Now, I'm talking about why it happened. Because that lawsuit came out, they wanted those tapes. That's what they wanted. What else did they go? They went in and what was the big news? What was the big media thing? 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Good for him. Maybe he got it on discount at frickin' BJ's or Costco's. What's the other thing they found? Nothing. They found a couple of, I think, guns from not anybody's, could be one of his security staff. None of this was in this indictment or in the charges. None of it. The government wanted the videos. Exactly. They want to know who was on those videos. Either to protect, and they can justify that, guys. They can justify that under national security. We need those videos before a foreign government gets these videos because we might believe there's a president on there or there's somebody who's so powerful that they can, flip them. And then the FBI comes in and says, we got to get these things and we got to see how bad it is and we'll talk to the people. And I almost get that to a degree. I really do. But what I don't get, people, is once you do it, you have to keep forcing. Listen, they waited for so long and they came out with these charges. This is the charges they came out with. 2 sex trafficking charges against 2, I guess, not credible witnesses. And 2 Transportation Mann Act stuff. You know what the Mann Act is, guys? You're a John. You know what a John is? You're a guy who pays for pussy. So what? We all pay for pussy in one way or the other. I don't care, guys. We all pay for it in one way or the other. And I mean that by whether you like it or not, going to dinner, taking a girl to shows, doing this. Oh, I'm courting her. And you're courting her to get laid most of the time. And when you don't get laid, it's part of the act. And then what? You get rid of her. Well, you paid. You tried. Should have paid somebody else. Should have paid someone who you know. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Should make that legal. Prostitution, like in Nevada, certain parts of Nevada, should be legal. However they want to run it, it should be legal. Just like drugs should be legal. We are in such a downfall as a country. We're making everything we like, if you want to call it that, illegal. Well, they tried that in 1920. It's called Prohibition. Didn't work, did it? Did not work, did it, guys? Look that up. 10 years. Made a bunch of gangsters millionaires, is more powerful than ever. And what'd the government do? Elliot Ness and all that bullshit's all true, and it's all crap. That's exactly what it is, guys. So that's why I get so mad. I really do, guys. And I'm going to answer some questions. I really am. I'm going to do that right now. I had to get it off my chest, this whole video. I'm still like, what do I say? How do I say pissed? I'm so happy this happened. I am so happy there was one lawyer out there that I know. One. I'm sure there might have been others I didn't see or whatever. But all the pundits, legal channels, and Bruce Rivers, and this guy, I watch them. I like them. They're entertaining, educational at times. But damn, is there a real criminal defense attorney out there besides Brad Cohen? I hope so, because we need him. I got him on speed dial. Not that I'm doing anything, but I got him on speed dial. Because he knows what he's doing, guys. Period. End of story. And that, I'm going to give him his props for that. All the other guys, I'm telling you, and all these, our guys, I call them influencers and people. Listen, guys, you were the guys that won. Hey, you're doing it for your clicks, I get you. Sup Shady, thanks, man. What does it say? His bail hearing set for 5 p.m. I'm going to be on that. I don't think he's going to get bail. He might, because he has convictions. But listen to me. If the judge has any kind of, the judge just saw this whole case, guys. He is the one. Did you see what he did? He didn't even, it's like an Allen charge where he sends them back into the courtroom when they can't come to say, hey, judge, we can't do this. This guy says, and we're arguing, it's not going to work. He goes, go back, try harder. I think that's wrong because it's kind of go get me a verdict. People are intimidated by judges. Listen, I always say, you talk to a federal judge, man, he ain't no joke. You want to curse out the cop? That's who you curse out. You don't want to curse out a federal judge. I don't care who you are or who you think you are. You don't do it. You don't do it to a state judge. Forget the state judge. Don't do it to a federal judge. Now, I hope, and I really do hope he gets bail because he deserves. He's been in there a year. But whatever he gets, and if he doesn't get it, I'm going to be a little bit more concerned. Unless the judge sets a hearing really quickly because he wants to get him out, because the judge might be saying, listen, this guy don't deserve to be in the prison system like he is. He is. Now, does the judge believe? Down deep, he's not the jury, but he is the man who's going to sentence him. Does he believe one of those witnesses and maybe leans that way? I hope not. I really do. But I think it could happen. I really do there. But everybody here who listens to me now, I think myself, I was dead right on the Chauvin case. I'm dead right on this case. When I start researching cases and doing stuff, and I read that indictment, 10-page indictment, whatever it was, I read that back and forward 20 times, got into it, looked a little deeper, and that's why I kept saying, everybody, hold on, guys. Hold on. You don't know what's out there. Obviously, there's not much out there, people. There's not much out there. Let me answer some questions. What do I think he's going to get? Let me give you I'm not going to say this yet, though. I'm going to make a video on it because I was dead right. When I say dead right, guys, 100%. I was the only one. I was offering a free box of cigars or something like that for the person who can guess what I wanted. That's all legit shit. Look it up. I did the video the day before, and I read his PSI, read the whole works. Watch the case as much as you can watch it. Again, I can't watch a case like a jury's watching a case. Listen, when two good attorneys are talking to you, their job is to convince you that their client or their side is right. And justice needs to be served. Prosecutors piss me off more than ever lately because their job is supposed to seek justice or seek the truth. And most of them just want to win. And that's not what you're supposed to do. I've seen too many prosecutors hold back evidence, too many prosecutors, there's no break. I could go into the federal law, the state law, it's a whole different animal, but I'm not going to do a law class. I'm not good enough. I do know my stuff, especially with the 924. Let me keep going. Just wanted to say, okay, hey, hello, England. You're seeing this travesty of justice going on right now. But I am going to watch the 5 o'clock, and I am going to do a video on it. Maybe another quick video. I thought this would be, yeah, money talks, money walks. It only walks and talks if you're really innocent, or you got good. Listen, everybody should have a good attorney. I mean, I can go into why I think that's why people with public defenders are wrong, and they get the bad end of the stick, and it's wrong because another person who doesn't have the funds that Diddy had on this case alone would not at all be probably convicted. I don't know. Kara, you got to send me some pictures. Something, Kara. Thanks, it's done. What's your thoughts on him as a person? I don't know. I don't know him well enough. I mean, what you know, everybody has a public appearance or a public persona. What do I think he is? Listen, I'll tell you what. I tell everybody, I wish I went to those parties. I really do. Listen, if I was at those parties and something illegal was going on, I'd stop it. And that was my point last time video, and you'll look in it. You had that many people at a party, you know, celebrities. I'm not going to name names. There's a zillion people, credible people. I can't believe that if one of them were in there and they saw, not all of them, and they saw one thing with it, like a kid, an underage kid, they wouldn't say something or wouldn't freak or wouldn't do. If I was there and I saw someone do something to a kid, I couldn't hold back. I'd smash him. I know me. I'd smash him. And I know some of those guys I'm sure would have. That's why I was so concerned with everybody judging him. Oh, he's a pedophile. He's this. He's not. Don't label people that, guys. That's terrible. Sometimes that can be worse than a charge. Oh. Anybody going to prison in a week, depending on the level of prison, obviously, you know, get your personal stuff in order as much as you can, because you know you can't worry about what's going on the outside. Depending on how long time you got, what level prison is, I could answer it a little bit better. But if you go into prison in a week, obviously you know you're going to prison, so it's not going to be a serious charge, a very serious charge. You know, like I had, where you're not going to get bond or bail. It might be a charge, you know, a white collar crime, and they let you report to prison, stuff like that. In those cases, listen, stay to yourself. Don't listen to people. Don't talk. You know, there's so many snitches in there. It drives me crazy. So just be quiet. Yes, but he does know how to throw a party. You know, everything I heard about those freak offs were blast. People went to them all the time, you know. And let me tell you, some of these girls up there, they went to those things multiple times, and then all of a sudden they don't want it. Listen, I get it. If I have sex 5 times and then I don't want it, and the guy forces his rape, I get it. Not if it's my wife. Listen, I have my views, and my views are pretty good. So I want you to just think like that. You got charged with transportation, prostitution, but not trafficking. You know, that is the case. You're 100%. First of all, Diddy was charged with the, you know, it's called transportation, but not forced. These people ain't forced to get on a plane. They got a lot of money. Some, you know, some reports of $5,000-$10,000 to go to a party. You know, hot broad. They got there and they didn't want to have sex, and then they forced and they, you know, raped. A whole different animal. We're not seeing any of that. They went back the next time. They wanted the money and they had good times. Listen, I'm a very liberal person here. I don't believe. Listen, sex to me is sex. I don't care. I have never been monogamous. I don't believe in monogamy. But that's a whole nother. That's not me. I think people got confused in this whole entire case. I really do. I think they got jumped on the media. This is where the media is wrong. Really, the media convicted him, and that got me pissed. John, who had a good question? Absolutely. So that's a great question. How about leading up to the trial with Diddy in jail, anxiety? Let me tell you something, man. He was freaking in his own way. He could say he wasn't. That's tough. Inside, I mean, I think he was in his isolation. If not, they had somebody in there with him. Anyway, it's tough. That's the tough part. That's where I feel. Right now, I can tell you what he's doing. He's going crazy, and he's so happy, screaming. Well, he's still down at the courthouse. Right now, he's in the holding cells at the courthouse. That's where he is. Or the jury, or his lawyer's room. They're allowed to do that too, so I'm sure he's there. This guy's got to be on cloud nine. I hope he don't get his hopes up for just, I'm sure his lawyers are tempering him. What's going to happen? I really hope he gets it, and if he gets it, I'm going to see something different. I think that's just me. We'll see right now. You could believe that Diddy should rot away. You could believe he's a scumbag. That's your opinion, and that's great. We all have an opinion. But guess what, guys? It means shit. My opinion don't mean shit. Yours don't mean shit. The only opinions that matter was the ones that were given by the jury, and it was not guilty. You could have your opinion on a person. I'm sure there's a lot of very faith-based or religious people on here who say, oh, that's terrible, that's terrible. Well, usually priests are the most fucked up people. We know that. And I'm not like that. I believe in that. I believe in an open relationship. I believe in that kind of stuff. I'm very respectful for everybody. I'm very respectful. I just don't believe that Diddy. From the beginning. Look it up, guys. Look it up from the beginning. I thought Diddy was innocent or not guilty, and I thought it was well overcharged, everything. The RICO, I'm telling you, I'm so confused. I'm going to ask Brad Cohen about it. Because how do you charge someone when it's 2 or more? Don't get it. I know the RICO, guys. I was charged with it and convicted and spent time in prison a lot. And I beat a life sentence. I had 4 12-year sentences, run concurrent, but 4 of them. And the reason they do that, just to let everybody know, so if you win one appeal or something, you still got to do the time. That's why you'll see 3 life sentences. People, you can't die 3 times. True. But if something happens, that one case is overturned, you still got to do that time. You do in life. Do you think he had something to do with the murder of Pac? No, I don't like to judge people on stuff I don't know. Let people who have been around that whole thing know. And there are people who know. But listen to me. The people might know things about me, and they're going to say it, but you don't know it. You might think you know it, and you don't. We can't really know the exact details about the case. Only God truly. That is true. I mean, if you believe in that, and that's cool, only God, I can go with that. I really could. And nothing bad about that. Wes, definitely making me raise an eyebrow at you. You can listen. You can raise your eyebrows at me. You can do what you want. You can judge me as much as you want. Everybody's able. Hey, listen, that's your right. I don't judge anybody. That's not my style. Just don't do it. Who am I? Better than you? I'm not better than anybody. Trust me. I'm not better than anybody. I don't walk in their shoes, whether it's a homeless person or a billionaire. I don't know how truly happy anybody is, to be honest with you. And I don't judge people. Because, until you walk in someone's shoes, don't judge. Or even then, you should help. Do I believe in God? I'm what they call an agnostic. And an agnostic is a person who believes in some higher power. But I've read the Bible 5 times, cover to cover. I read the Torah. I read the Quran 3 times. I was in a hole where you had to read them. I read them as books, people. Literally, cover to cover. Sit here and quote, what does a man have? He gains the whole world, but loses his soul. Psalms 111. Things stick in my mind. That's why there's no word, nowhere in the Bible does it say, reverend referencing to a man. So I don't call somebody reverend. I don't care who they are. Might be a deacon or something of that nature, but he's not a reverend. Call no man reverend. That's in the Bible too. I can't. How is the federal penitentiary compared to the medical facility? Penitentiary sucks. I was in them. Even today they suck. I mean, sometimes I even heard some of them got worse. They have more, tech like to catch people if they want, but the system's so fucked up. Our systems are work. Listen, I watched the video on the prisons again, and Colorado came like number 3 in the world worst prison. You think about that, number 3 or 4. Think about that. That's crazy. I mean, you are so. That's a whole video. Uh, I should. I read all things. Do I miss New York? I miss certain things in New York. I do not miss New York. I do not miss the traffic. I do not miss the hustle and bustle. I love the city, and I love the restaurants and the nightlife and everything else that goes along with the plays, the talent, the people, the Empire State Building, you name it. I love that, but I'm not a big fan of anything else. Have you been? I've never been to the UK. I'd like to go someday. I'm not itching to just jump on a plane and go, so no. I mean, I got enough to see in the United States still. I've been out of the country, but usually South America, stuff like, and of course I've been to West. I've been to the Pacific, Far East, or the Pacific, and so when I was in the service, I seen a lot. I'm not big on that. If I would like to go to Australia, or maybe UK if I can do some kind of gigs out there or something like that. Ah, Carrie, you spent time in Tent City. We love you already, Carrie. That's a terrible place. That was a Joe Arpaio place. Terrible, terrible. How do you treat another human being like that? Again, that's terrible. Yeah, better tech now. Prisons. No, Hans. Honest, if you sent something, that'd be great. I love, guys know I'm still a big coastie. I love my Coast Guard. But if you want to email me, you can get me at my email, and you know how that is. California, I go to once in a while. I'm not a fan. Well, I love I only been really to L.A. I've been to Frisco too, but L.A. I'd love to go to San Diego. Never been there. I heard it's beautiful, but that state's so fucked up with leadership and what's going on in L.A. with the homeless. Listen to me, I have a heart, but you can't put up a tent in front of a condo I just made and expect me not to do anything. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I've been to jails in New Jersey. I've been to Elizabeth County Jail. What a scumhole. I've been to a couple too. Atlantic County Jail, Elizabeth County Jail. They suck. Wow, that's wild. That's true, Gary. You said Michael Vick was there. I don't know. He was there. Boston. I've been to Boston. I had a Gomar up there back in the day. Uh, yes, Boston. If Puff was a woman, do I think it would be different if Puff was a woman? I don't think they'd be charged. I think it's just the way we look at things in the United States. I mean, they could listen. If somebody does listen, I can't even believe that man act unless there's coercion, unless there's and I don't mean money. That's not coercion. That's a job. So you have the opportunity to refuse that money and say, I don't want to go. That's the end of that. If you're addicted to escorts, I mean, listen, get a good price. Uh, I don't get. Listen, there could be addictions to anything, but it must cost you a lot of money. I know guys who are addicted. Nah, I won't say addicted. Who go to strip clubs and spend crazy money. I don't know what that is. I don't know, diamonds or emeralds? Good, very good one. I think diamonds, just because I was when I did it, and I think you can get rid of them. Well, I mean, you can get rid of anything, but, so I don't know. Uh, if you're addicted to that, email me. What do you, what's the story behind Morty? Morty is here. Morty's the best. Morty is out rock. Morty is he got 2 new knees. It was 15,000. Just had $1,000 procedure to get the sting. So animals. I love my animals. I have 2 cats and a dog. Well, Morty's Nick's, but mine. And Nick takes care of my mom a lot too. So that's what it is. I'm just talking Diddy right now, guys, for that. I'm not on keto, but I am losing, and I'm going to keep losing. I feel good. I really do. Come to Montreal. I'm from Saint Laurent. That's where my family is from, in Montreal. But they don't want to let me in because I have a felony record. When were you a prison paperwork guy? When you were a prison paperwork guy, how did you avoid new charges since you got guys? I didn't get. I was doing legal work, so there was a fine line of having somebody's legal work and looking it over to help them. That was a concern of mine near the end. But when you're in the beginning and you had my connections, that was worth it. Yeah, Sir Lobby, if you want to email me, but I think you should, honestly, I think you should contact I don't know how deep your case and where you're at, but I think Paul Tellini, my buddy, who did law for 30 years, well, 25 years in prison and won cases you couldn't imagine, got guys out with life sentences. He consults, because, like, otherwise a lawyer could rip you off. If you're South Florida and it's a Fed case, probably state case too, call Brad Cohen. And again, this has nothing to do. I haven't spoke to Brad, no nothing. I'm being honest. I'm telling you who the best of the best is. All right. I'm gonna close this thing up now, guys. I'll come back later. I want to see what's going on with the Diddy case. After that, 5 o'clock, I'll probably come on for a little bit and let you guys know what I think. I hope you liked it. If you like, give me my likes. If you know me, give me my A's. I'd probably be on GTA later tonight. I'm in a great mood. I just spent a lot of money on new shit for the computers so we don't have any issues because we had issues. So I hope to see you there. Hope to see everybody where they're at. Thanks for being here. Much love, much respect to everybody, guys. Really mean that. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe.